to get them. And we have to start addressing what this issue is. It's domestic terrorism, it's hatred, it's racism, and those are the things that we really need to concentrate on and heal ourselves as a nation to get beyond this.
And you create these kids because Todd Rutherford is told by people like Saida Grundy that you're a bad kid, young white man. They emasculate them. They tell them you're nothing. And when they get to college and start looking at their opportunities in lives,
Kevin,
they're
so
told,
you know what, you're
white, you get a privilege over blacks. If you're born white, you get white privilege and so on and so forth. And it's liberalism that creates them.
Oh my God.
And then, you know what they do, Sean? They look for scapegoats. They look for gun control. They say it's immigration. They say it's Donald Trump. They say it's anything but what is actually happening.
So Kevin is actually saying that what this kid did, he's blaming it on the liberals now? I mean, isn't that the reverse?
I didn't hear that. I think you're talking about...
He just said yes.
Kevin, you're talking about underlying causes of trouble in society, are you not?
That is exactly right.
Why don't you... So explain in detail, because Eric's all outraged here. Let's
Oh, I'm not outraged. I'm shocked that he said it.
So
why don't you call me outraged? I'll show you outraged.
You don't need to be.
This is not it.
You don't need to be shocked. The fact of the matter is, and I mentioned Saida Grundy. One of the things that she talked about is how young white men need to check themselves. As I said, this country has proven time and time again that these young kids grow up together, they play together, they do sports together, they go to college. There is nothing in America.
Evil, Kevin. He was simply evil.
Well,
this was evil personified, where he was a racist, evil terrorist who went and murdered some people. Why don't we just call it exactly what it is?
So let me ask
why
you this.
Can't you just say that instead of saying that liberals caused this problem, which made this evil terrorist?
A kid like him is created.
Well, I wish he would be quiet and let me talk. Why don't you just admit that this young guy is an evil terrorist who,
then wait a minute.
Racism
based on what you're saying,
actually caused this issue. Racism issue involved in this tragedy, just like we did in Birmingham. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah. Just like the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing, that brought people together. This can bring people together as well and have those conversations that are crucial to let our country go forward. I was very disappointed. This is about terrorism. This is about domestic terrorism and racism at its worst point. And for the president, which I'm probably the most liberal person to appear on Fox, I was so disappointed in him bringing in the gun control argument based upon what happened, because this is about hate that a person had in their heart that is so dark and so miserable. For him to go in there and take those lives, this is far from gun control. This is something internal. This is not
the president was wrong to politicize it. You agree with me?
No, you're John.
I do.
Exactly
Kevin, be quiet for a second. The president was wrong with calling this a gun control issue.
And Hillary was wrong to blame Trump.
I do think Hillary is wrong to blame Trump.
Right,
actually, on the Democratic side, we need a strong candidate base.
And by the way, and it's wrong to blame talk radio. And it's wrong
of a conscience. This is just like the 1960s. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. So when people can't go to church in peace, and they go there to pray, to love the Lord, and get murdered by someone, that is domestic terrorism.
Well, they didn't
debate out of it and said, look, these people are hurting. Let's bring everyone together. Let's talk about the racial divide and try to come together, because this is South Carolina. They're still flying the Confederate flag, and people are very upset about that. All of those things go into the mindset of people suffering from this tragedy.
Okay. A big discussion point on this program before you arrived on the air this morning. Big discussion point is, what I'm saying is that Middle America is less racist than almost any place else in the world. That in Middle America, we conform to certain middle-class values. Black, white, pink, and green. Doesn't matter where you're from, ethnicity, race, all the rest of it. You conform to those Middle American values, and you're in the club. There's no division in that club. That's what I'm saying.
I disagree with that. Middle America is one of the most divisive places in the world, because when you have blacks and whites who are vying for certain positions, and some people grow up with this type of racist attitude and that racist knowledge from their childhood, it is within some people.
Really? Are you reading all of that into this one lone nutcase who did indeed do a dreadful
I'm bringing in my prior experiences and what I've experienced. I mean, I was the first generation of my family to be born with all their rights. So people a little bit older than I am, they grew up in the civil rights era where people were being bombed, hung, and other issues.
Okay, but have we gotten past that? Have we made no progress?
We have made plenty of progress, but we're not there yet where we need to be.
Where do we need to be?
We need to be
What's
where
your end point?
we need to be where people can get along, talk about these issues, and try to work out the differences.
Frankly, Eric, I think they do. I think they do in Middle America. I think there is that conversation,
some
discussion.
do.
I think there is.
Some do. However, there are some on both far ends of the spectrum, and they don't want to see eye to eye. Some people just don't want to see eye to eye, just like this guy. There was nothing that could have been told to this guy, and we don't know who else he's spoken with, who else he's communicated with, who else influenced him, and who he idolizes. Because this is the type of behavior that is not just someone individually. This is something taught.
I think you're picking on this one thing and extrapolating out as if we're all as divided as that young man feels about black people. And I did not say we are.
I did not say that. I did not say that we were all divided. I said a portion of our society is divided. I did not say all.
All right, last question.
But I think that his election brought out the worst in some people who did not want to see an African-American man as president.
I think he was elected by a lot of white people who wanted a black president to settle things.
Stuart, I said some.
It's a tiny minority.
Listen to what I said. I said some.
It's a tiny minority, Eric.
Well, that minority, those are the ones who are walking in churches shooting people.
That's not Middle America. That's not the great American
public. Those are the ones who are doing
public.
these ridiculous things.
But I don't think you should say we are as divided as that young man implies.
I never said that. I said a small percentage.
It's a minuscule percentage that feels like that.
I mean, you're saying all or minuscule. That's what I said.
I'm saying Middle America is united. It is not a racist society.
I said some of it is not. I said some. I didn't say all.
Give me a proportion.
Proportion? I don't know a proportion. I would think about 10%.
10% feels like that young man?
Probably.
Really?
I didn't say like that young man's.
We've got disagreement there. However, we're out of time. Guster, what's your name again?
I know you'll miss me.
Eric, thank you very much for being with us. We appreciate your input. We do.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.